All right, Successful Indie Author 5 Minute Focus, episode 279. And this is a redo because the last one was so broken up. Writing a short story, let's say about 5,000 words, 5,000, 6,000 seems a number for story anthology submissions and magazines and things like that. And there goes my internet. Hey, let me stop the camera. For a short story, you pick a single theme and you work from that. You figure out, hey, here's what I want to write about. For me, it's always I hate bureaucrats. So pick a bureaucrat, pick some one thing that they do that annoys you, and then you pick it apart with a single character doing one thing throughout short story. A few plots, 2 or 3, no more. If you get too many beyond that, then the story becomes cumbersome and you're going to leave the readers hanging with elements that, hey, they may want to know more of, or it just detracts from the main theme of the story. So, and this short stories help focus and sharpen your writing skills because you're able to drill down and zero in on that single theme, single character, and a very narrow path from start to finish. So you put your single character into place, you give a little background, you provide some three-dimensionality. What about the scene is important that drives the story forward? There's not a whole lot of world building in short stories, but it can be rather extensive in its minimalism. Look at Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? It became the movie Blade Runner. So depth of that story, the written story, don't look at the movie, that's different, but the depth of the written story and how that can be done in such a short time. A dystopian world, a blend of Chinese and English because the societies have merged and things like that. Quick, very short, impactful phraseology that moves the story forward. Keep the mind, it's always about the plot, characters moving that plot forward. And in a short story, take one, move the plot forward. You only have words, so you don't want to get too extravagant with adding these side characters, adding side plots, adding distractions, red herrings, and things that take you away from delivering your message of how much you hate bureaucrats. You toss in a few other characters for spice, but just that spice. Generally, if I'm not going to use a character in a big way, I won't even give them a name. So this, the driver, just leave it at that. The driver, the faceless driver. The young man who helped me take my bag out of the trunk. There we go. Toss him a $5, moved on. 2 sentences. You've added a character. You've added a little bit of element, a little bit of three-dimensionality to the story, but you're still moving the plot forward because this main character is doing their thing. And then I like always throwing a twist at the end, just because if it's predictable, is it as entertaining as it needs to be? And it doesn't have to be a crazy twist. Like, hey, it was a butler that did it. That's almost crazy sound nowadays because we don't have butlers. But dry throat, it's a little dry out. And also, if you saw before, I had to turn the video off. It's dark outside. However, it's not dark enough to see stars yet. So it's getting soon. Soon we'll be able to see the night again. The short story, sharpen your focus. A lot of people look at a short story almost like a prologue to a novel. And that's the challenge. You can't do that with a standalone that you're trying to draw readers into your style, because then it just looks like advertisement. Vice, a short story, a complete story. Can you tell a tale? Can you be compact? Can you do it start, click resolution, finish, and be done with that story? So one thing I do with my short stories is I make them all standalones. I don't relate them to my universe unless I'm writing a short story as a reward for people who are in that universe. And this is a element because that's a reward as opposed to an enticement. The enticement is, hey, come on and read my stuff. And I give a whole book for that one because that is a reflection of my writing style, of my my themes of how I approach my novels. So short stories, sharpen your skill. I've got 40 or 50, and I think everyone makes me better because of the ability to focus on that one theme and flesh it out in a way that pushes the plot forward to the end, and then move on, write a new story. And it works the same for novels, except you can add side plots. But one thing about side plots is you always want to bring them to a resolution, unless you're going to use that for the next book. And the readers know that. Don't chase your readers away with stuff that's hanging out there that looks incomplete, whether it's a short story or a full novel. Give them something complete time. All right, that's all I have to say about the 5-minute focus today. Writing a short story. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow if the internet cooperates, and we'll see you then. Peace, fellow humans.